UFC 282 is this weekend, and I'm going to be breaking down the UFC 282 co-main event of Jared Gordon and Paddy Pimblett. This matchup is very interesting for a lot of people, including myself. A lot of Paddy fans, maybe I don't want to say few, that's a little disrespectful, but for some of the Jared Gordon fans that are out there, a very super interesting matchup in general, especially what happens after this matchup, who wins. This is Paddy Pimblett's really, I don't want to say big step up in competition, but pretty solid step up in competition here. And after this fight, say he beats Jared Gordon, where does he go next? A lot of big fights to make after that, especially over in London and things like that. So, without further ado, let's get into the video. I'm going to be breaking down this fight, how I think it'll play out, how I think I'll basically kind of discuss how they match up physically in terms of like reach and things like that. Their previous fights, I'll go over that briefly also. So let's get right into the video. Let's get right into the video. So Paddy Pimblett and Jared Gordon, probably basically two fights differential in here, except for Jared Gordon has more UFC fights. Paddy Pimblett still has less fights, but it's a similar amount. Paddy Pimblett is also 7 years younger, so Jared Gordon still has the experience, but Paddy Pimblett experienced way more fights in a shorter amount of period of time, from what I believe. I haven't checked like the range of years, but Jared Gordon has definitely fought the better competition out of the two of them. For the reach, Paddy Pimblett does have a 5-inch reach advantage. They're similar in height, so I won't go too much in there, but 5 inches of reach advantage is actually pretty good. For Paddy Pimblett's last couple fights against Jordan Levitt, he got a rear naked choke victory in the second round against Rodrigo Vargas. I'm sorry, Kazula. Is it Kazula or Rodrigo? It changed for some reason. By rear naked choke in the first round. Both of those, he did kind of get grappled on the ground pretty early into the fight. He did, I don't want to say struggle, but it was really competitive against Jordan Levitt, which made me a little iffy about this one. But I do think Paddy Pimblett possibly is likely to beat Jared Gordon in this matchup. But I'll get into that later on to the video. But Jared Gordon, his last couple fights against Leonardo Santos, won a unanimous decision, and then lost against Grant Dawson, who is a very good wrestler himself. Pretty much, don't want to say destroyed, don't want to say dominated, but he definitely won handedly on the ground for that fight. Actually won a rear naked choke in the third round of that matchup. But for this one, I am going to go into more of the specifics and how I think these guys will compare and how I believe this will lean more into Paddy's favor and things like that. So for Paddy Pimblett, or not for Paddy Pimblett, for Jared Gordon, his fights against Dan Moret I thought were pretty. So I'm going to rewind a little bit. For Paddy Pimblett's last couple wins were with rear naked choke. That's basically just pretty his I don't know how to say this. It's his favorite submission basically to do. He loves the rear naked choke. He uses it quite a bit. And his last couple wins were by rear naked choke. Always looks for that opening to jump on and choke his opponent out. So I was basically looking through Jared Gordon's fights. If they go on the ground, is he winning any of the positions? How often does he give up his back and things like that, to where Paddy Pimblett can take advantage of that? And I saw it quite a bit, actually. In this Dan Moret fight, I only put the last names here, so I might get the first names wrong. But for the Dan Moret fight, he was able to get his back taken actually kind of easily. A lot of times when he gets, I don't want to say a lot, but quite a bit of the times when he gets pushed against the cage, like he gets taken down and he tries to climb back on the cage, his back shows a lot. He shows his back actually quite a bit in his fights, and a lot of these guys are able to get it and hold that position for a while. Dan Moret was able to do it quite a few times in his fight, actually. Over, I think, multiple rounds, he was able to get Jared Gordon's back. For Joe Selecki, he was able to get his back. Also a pretty good jiu-jitsu guy, but was still able to wrestle him to the ground and get onto his back. Grant Dawson, super good wrestler, just beat the Olympian Mark Madsen. Dominated him on the ground, actually. So I won't hold that too much against Jared Gordon here, because Grant Dawson's a really good wrestler, so holding his back and getting him in a rear naked choke submission isn't necessarily a bad thing. For this one, though, specifically, I'm going to go over Paddy Pimblett's real quick and how I can compare the two. Like, you can take moments from each fight and kind of compare them, but you can't equivocate them too much if that's even. You can't like interject them into one fight, if you know what I'm saying. So the Rodrigo Vargas fight, Paddy Pimblett gets, I don't want to say hurt, but he definitely he gets hit with a big punch, goes for a takedown, and goes on his back. After that, he tries to get up onto his feet, and then Rodrigo Vargas clinches. Paddy Pimblett is able to hip toss him to the ground and get on as Vargas is getting up, get onto his back, and then pull him backwards, get the leg triangle, the body triangle on, and choke him out from there. In the Dan Moret fight against Jared Gordon, a similar thing kind of happens there. Jared Gordon goes into the clinch. Moret is able to hip toss him a little bit and then take his back from there, which comparably so they look kind of similar, but Paddy Pimblett is actually pretty solid and pretty good in those clinch and wizard kind of scenarios where he's in the clinch and he has pretty solid judo, so he's able to hip toss pretty well. So how I see this anchoring into a fight, I think, so this is, I'm going to show, not really show, but I'm going to tell you how I think the fight will play out. I think Paddy Pimblett will go out there, be a little wild, be a little weird, and get hit. Obviously, they're going to have a little bit of a punching thing, like maybe not 30 seconds, maybe about a minute into the fight. They're going to be trading on the feet. I think Paddy Pimblett I think he will get hurt. Not hurt badly where he's going out cold or anything, but just like hurt where he's like, okay, it's a little tough. And then I think Jared Gordon sees that and tries to rush in and things like that. Pushes him against the cage, takes him down to the ground, and I think he just grinds him out on the ground. Paddy Pimblett is able to get up off the cage, and I think because the excitement that Jared Gordon gets, he's in an arena, a big arena, and this is a moment against Paddy Pimblett, a huge name and things like that. He gets super excited, adrenaline gets to him, and he kind of tires out a little bit. Gets a little tired, huffs and puffs quite a bit, and I think Paddy Pimblett will kind of, I don't want to say endure, but more of energize off the crowd and will feed off of it a little bit more. I think he'll hurt Jared Gordon. Jared Gordon will try and clinch up. I think immediately Paddy Pimblett will hip toss him to the ground, and I think Jared Gordon, out of just natural him being a defensive wrestler and grappler, he's going to try and get up off his back. Paddy Pimblett jumps on his back, pulls him back, and submits him in the late first round. So I'm going to say late first round submission by Paddy Pimblett in this matchup. I just think Paddy Pimblett is just a finisher, and Jared Gordon is good, but I don't think he has that finishing instinct in him like Paddy does. So Paddy's just able to get in there and choke out his opponents pretty well. And I think Jared Gordon doesn't really have that ability in this fight. So I just think any chance that Paddy Pimblett gets at that back, he'll get it in without a doubt. So I'm gonna go Paddy late first round submission in this matchup. I don't think I have anything else to say here, but yes, late first round submission for Paddy Pimblett. Again, it's all just a finishing instinct. I think there could be different scenarios in this fight, but I also think that it'll just go down to the one thing where Jared Gordon will often, maybe he finishes this on the feet, Paddy Pimblett, but I think there's times where, especially with Paddy Pimblett, his go-to submission is the rear naked choke. I think he's going to be looking for it quite a bit. So I think there's going to be opportunities to where maybe for a split second that Jared Gordon gets taken down and goes down to a knee. Paddy Pimblett will try to jump on it real quick. So I just see scenarios like that happening, but again, I played out my scenario. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you agree with me or not, leave a comment down below. Who do you think wins this matchup? I have a Tapology link down below if you want to make your picks so you can show your own picks. It keeps record of your own picks. You can see who else in the group that you can join. I guess it sounded weird. You can join my group and see who else makes the picks. You can see my picks in the Tapology group. So you don't have to do it. It's completely free. Also, we have like 6 members in there. I'll be accepting them all week. You can still make them till like probably a couple minutes before the whole card starts. So if you want to join, you can. Leave a comment down below. Do whatever you like. Like the video, subscribe, whatever. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll try and do a Ilya Topuria and Bryce Mitchell video tomorrow or on Friday. Well, I guess this is coming out on Thursday, so on Friday. And then, because I'm mostly doing that one because I haven't done a breakdown for it yet. For the Till Duplessis one, I already did a breakdown for that. I believe for Jan Blachowicz and Ankalaev, I've already done a breakdown for that one. Like an early prediction. I did an early prediction for both of those fights for Duplessis and Ankalaev. So I guess I didn't really do a 5-rounder if you want to kind of mix it with full card one. But I might get to those, but my priorities are basically Paddy Pimblett, Jared Gordon, and Ilya Topuria and Bryce Mitchell. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time.